Happy New Year's and welcome back to the TohirT channel. Tahir is here. I hope you guys had a fantastic and fabulous celebration of New Year. Now we are in 2019, the very first video of this year. And as you can see, we're already trying a few new things as promised. And you will see more of this kind of changes slowly trickling in throughout the rest of the year. For now, just a different lighting, a couple of new items on the shelf, and you know, new year, new me sort of thing. Today's topic is Epidemic sound, the source of music that I'm using in my videos. I will make this video part review of the platform itself and part me shedding light into my creative process. The former will be very useful for the creators out there who are trying to pick a music service to download the tracks for their creations, and the latter for those of you who are working on combining their business and the creative side in a single profession, entrepreneurship, or other small business venture. Let's just jump straight into it. First and foremost, Epidemic Sound is an awesome name. Whoever created that brand name really deserves a medal. And for those of you who did not know about this service, Epidemic Sound sources music and sound effects from all over the world from different artists and provides it as a subscription service or on a one-off license base to the creators like myself. As you may have heard, YouTube licensing can be a little bit tricky. It is important for you as a creator or a small business owner to pay attention to the type of music you're using in your videos, because if you do not have appropriate rights, if you didn't license the song correctly, you can get a copyright claim, which essentially gives the rights to your video to someone else, or you can even get a strike from YouTube to your channel. 3 strikes and you're out. That's the policy on YouTube. So both are pretty bad, and it's important for you to pay attention to those. And yes, you can go out there and you can Google and search for those free domain, clean copyright videos, audio tracks, sounds, all those kind of things where you can extract the audio from and install it in your video. But the problem is the time and the varying quality. And Epidemic Sound solves both issues of searching and spending time searching for the music tracks and the copyrights in one single platform, because A, the quality is always top-notch. We're not talking about 2 to 3 to 5 megabyte MP3 files. We're talking about 50 to 150 megabyte high definition audio that you can then dump down for your video, but overall quality is always off the chain and it sounds really nice on the appropriate sound systems. And of course it saves me a ton of time because it's a single platform, it has its own search engine. I go in, I search for what I need, I save it for the current use, I save it for the future views, but it is right there and I do not have to spend a couple of hours of my every week to find the appropriate soundtrack and sound effects to fit the music video or just the video that I'm currently working on. The next benefit with Epidemic Sound in the pros column are the stems. Stems are the separate tracks within a particular song that you can split apart and use in different creative ways.
I come and go like a round. They don't want it to be going on.
As you can imagine, it does open up a lot of those opportunities for a very different kind of thinking. You're no longer bound to a single song with a very set, order of instruments, order of different sections that are coming in and coming out. You can essentially split apart and see your instruments, your melody, your bass and your drums. And for example, you really love the drum roll, but you do not necessarily feel the rest of the song. So you can just isolate, keep the drums and use the drums in your video. Or think about those days when you really like the song, you want to use it in the background for your video or for your project, but you really don't feel like the lyrics fit the theme or the type of project you're working on. So guess what? Epidemic Sound offers you an ability through those stems to remove the vocals completely. They do call it a melody though, not the vocals, but as long as you remove that melody track from the song, now you're left with a clean cut instruments bass on the drum roll or whatever else that song is composed of. This is amazing. This opens up a lot of creativity and it helps you add your own personal touch to every single song that you're using in your videos. Pricing model is the final benefit that I would like to touch on when talking about Epidemic Sound. I love the fact that I do not have to bother with some sort of monthly quotas on the number of songs I can use. I do not have to go and license it song by song, although it is available for those who are not using the subscription, as well as I just don't feel like I'm some sort of limited by the way they set up their pricing model to maximize their own revenue. You can see that Epidemic Sound, or the people who are behind it, really thought about the creative process and really tried to put themselves in the shoes of the creator and gave as much flexibility as possible within the boundaries of them being a business and needing to support their payroll and their expenses. The way it works is that you pay either a monthly or an annual subscription in most of the cases. As I said, licensing option is out there, but I'm ignoring it for the benefit of this video because I just think that the subscription is a better service overall. And once you're subscribed, you do not have really any limitation. You can use as many songs as you want throughout a month, a day, a week, a given time period. And once you created a project and you have the song embedded in it, it is yours. You can continue using that video, you can continue monetizing that video even when you drop the subscription for Epidemic Sound. This is a great benefit. This is very, I think, user-friendly when it comes to the creators and the business owners who are trying to find the right music for their videos. With a small caveat for some of the creators out there who try to be smart and subscribe to the 30-day trial, download a bunch of songs and continue using them. That's not necessarily how it works. You do need to retain the subscription for when you create those videos. You cannot just subscribe for a couple of months, download the entire library, and then keep creating videos for the rest of the year. You have to have a subscription when you create the particular project, a particular video, when you use a particular song from their website, for you to retain the rights and ownership of that project in perpetuity, even beyond your subscription. Just, again, keep that in mind. The simplest way to think about it: you have a subscription, you're good to use the song, and once you created a video with a song, you're good to use it forever within that video alone. This is for the full transparency. I've seen creators on Reddit and some other websites complaining about them not being able to use the songs that they downloaded under the free trial. Like, just be real, guys. You're trying to game the system essentially, while those guys are being nice and offering you an opportunity to evaluate their product. Just be considerate. They need to be able to pay their personnel as well. Now, to not make it sound like an infomercial,
but wait, there's more.
Let's talk about some of the concerns that I have about Epidemic Sound and about some of the things that they can improve on in 2019. My first concern is the sound effects library. Primarily the breadth of it. On several occasions, there's been a case where I was looking for some very basic, seemingly, sound, and I could not find it within their library. I think the example that I've recently encountered was the alarm, like, you know, the industrial, like a hip hop alarm. You'll hear it in some of the songs. I tried searching for it and all I would get is either the alarm clock, like, you know, those that wake you up in the morning, or some random dude shouting in the microphone, some inaudible things. Small thing, but I did find myself going to freesound.org or similar kind of website to search for the sound effects rather than using the Epidemic Sound, and I would really love to have a much richer library within Epidemic Sound because it would just create a perfect and absolute portfolio for me. Oh, and by the way, don't get me started on the default autoplay function that you cannot disable. It works for the music section of Epidemic Sound, where you have 3-minute songs and sometimes you just want to put an entire album, keep it on the loop while you're working on something and listen to the songs and mark off those that you really like. When it comes to the 2-second sound effects, I hate it. I've actually complained to their product group. I've provided the feedback because once that autoplay starts, it almost plays like a loop and you have to chase that play button all the way through the playlist and it keeps playing different sounds. Like, I'm trying to focus and listen to one sound at a time and understand whether that particular sound works for my creative purpose. And instead I have to go and chase that play button through the auto playlist, or I have to constantly press spacebar or click on the whatever, the icon to stop that whole cacophony of sounds happening right in my earphones. The second concern that I have is the music library depth. You can very visibly notice the difference between the tracks that were added, say 2016, 2017 and beyond, so in past, versus the tracks that were added 2017, 18 and onwards. Don't you agree with me? This is an evident variance between the quality of the tracks that they have in the library from past and the library that they're adding right now. This might not be the 100% fair concern, because it all depends on how many quality artists do you find, and it can be hard to find quality songs and quality artists out there. And me being a picky audiophile, I love seeing the depth in this kind of libraries. I still think Epidemic Sound's library is one of the best out there, but it can be better. The final concern that I'll mention is the fact that Epidemic Sound is actually becoming more and more popular. I know they would hear that and would say, hey, where's the problem? But for the creator, it can be a problem, especially if the library is not increasing, because you keep seeing more and more different creators using the same type of tracks, because those are just becoming recommended. They're becoming more popular on Epidemic Sound. So you see the likes of Peter McKinnon, Matti Hapoya, some of the other guys who are big proponents and supporters of Epidemic Sound keep using the tracks that I'm using in my videos. So I'm kind of sitting there like, hey, like this is my track. This track fits my video. Why are you using it in your video? Granted, there have been a few cases where I used those tracks first. In any case, this is the issue that you are gonna face as someone who subscribes to Epidemic Sound, but my solution for you is come back to one of the benefits, the stems, and use the stems to add the variety. Create your own type of tracks, adjust them, remove certain sounds, add certain sounds, maybe even try mixing different songs or stems from different songs into your own unique mix. This is what Epidemic Sounds is great at. This is something that will help you combat this con, so to speak, because it will keep going. If Epidemic Sound continues this growth and the popularity, and I'm sure it's gonna take time for library to catch up, you're gonna see more and more cases of people using the same tracks. But I think for the better quality, those inconveniences are acceptable. I much rather have a better song, a better quality video for my project, for your small business project or your entrepreneurial project, rather than having to worry about using some lackluster quality in a video that's going out to your clients. So here we are. That's it for my review of Epidemic Sound. I give it 2 thumbs up. Love the service, love the quality of the tracks. I keep mentioning that, and I love the variety of different songs that I've been using in my videos. It makes my life much easier on a day-to-day basis in my busy schedule, as well as for some of those, cons and concerns that I've mentioned. They're minor enough that I think Epidemic Sound team will solve them in the near future. So I look forward to seeing how this platform develops throughout the next couple of years. Did you use Epidemic Sound for your personal or business purposes? Do you have other music services that you prefer more? Or do you think in general the whole platform, the whole format of delivering songs and using songs in the projects should change completely? Hit us up in the comment section below, let's continue this discussion. And that's it from me this week. If you're new to this channel, hi! Go ahead, hit the subscribe button and check out the videos in the backlog. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for stopping by. As always, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this video, and I will see you all next Saturday, 10 AM Eastern, on this very channel. Happy New Year's, happy 2019. I hope you guys had a blast celebrating it. I am looking forward to seeing what we are gonna achieve in 2019. So, time for some action. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.